Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashley and today I'm going to be talking about something exciting, which is travel. I love traveling and I'm going to be telling you about my experience with a company called EF Ultimate Breaks. I took a trip with them to Greece back in July of 2018, so I just want to share my experience with you. So if you're interested, keep watching. So first off, I'm going to start out with a little bit about the company. So if you see me looking down, it's because I'm using this notebook. I just have stuff written down so I don't forget anything, because if I didn't have this, better believe your girl would forget some things. But okay, about the company. So EF Ultimate Breaks plans trips for people ages 18 to 29. And usually there's a tour director on the trip or a tour guide, and they just basically schedule everything. They have everything set up for you during the trip. So you honestly don't have to worry about anything, which is like a huge plus for going on one of these trips. The company offers many different excursions, and those are usually extra. I think they usually range from like 30 to 40 to like 80, depending on what the excursion is. But I would definitely say to take advantage of those excursions, because you're already paying like a decent amount of money to go on the trip, and you never know when you're going to be back in that location. So might as well do as much as you can on that trip. It's easy sign up. I remember I signed up on November 24th of 2018, and I just remember that date specifically because I was talking on the phone with a representative and she was like, "We have Black Friday deals." And I was like, you know what? Them deals. Because I've been looking at this website for forever and I was like, I want to take a trip, but I never did. So when she told me about those deals, I jumped on it. And I highly recommend that you do too. So one thing that I love about this company and taking trips with this company is that there's so much included in the price for the trip. So your flights there and back home are included. Your hotel is included. Transportation is included. So, going from the hotel or going from the airport to the hotel, from the hotel to the wherever. On this trip I went to the Greek islands. It was the Greek islands trip, and we flew into Athens, and then from there we went to Santorini. From there we went to Paros, then Mykonos, then back to Athens. So since we're traveling from island to island, we had to take a ferry and the ferry was included in the whole price. And from Athens to Santorini, we took a plane, and that price is also included. So, I mean, honestly, if you're someone that's new to a country and you don't know how to plan, and I don't know, you don't really know what you're planning for, it's just really nice that they take care of all of that for you. So also, usually at the hotels you stay at, breakfast is included, which is nice. So you usually want to load up on breakfast so you don't have to spend too much money while you're out. At least that's what I did, and a lot of people did that on the trip. Another thing that EF kind of handles for you is tour guides and locations. So when we were in Athens, we had a tour guide, and she took us around the city of Athens and just showed us some landmarks or places that people who are tourists will want to see. And it was really nice, and she spoke the language. She was a local, so it was really cool to get the local experience, as well as getting her recommendations on anything we should try while we're there. And I know I just told you about the excursions that you pay for, but it's really nice because you also can get some, I don't want to say you can get some extra excursions, but it's kind of like you already paid for it. We had a coach bus taking us everywhere. So this wasn't necessarily an excursion, but we, as a group, decided we wanted to go to the Black Sand Beach in Santorini. So our tour director, who was amazing, we all loved her, she planned it for us where we were able to take a coach bus to the Black Sand Beach and do that. And that was kind of included, if I'm not mistaken, it was included in the price of everything. It wasn't like we had to just like take money out of our pockets and be like, here you go, take me to the Black Sand Beach. And it was nice because we also already had that transportation set. And then in Athens, we also went to the Acropolis, and we had a ticket for that, which also was included in the price of everything. And when I say it's included, I mean, it's not like she's like, oh, do you guys want to go to the Acropolis? And we're like, is it extra? Like, no, like it wasn't extra. She's like, okay, I have the tickets from what I remember. Because this was back in 2018 and 2020, so I'm pretty sure it's still the same. And while we were in Athens, also, we took a, like the metro, the train. So we had tickets for that too. So basically what I'm trying to say, long story short, is that everything is included in this trip. All you have to pay for that's extra are souvenirs or lunch and dinner, which you can find some cheap places to eat at if you're trying to save money on the trip. So next, I'm going to talk about the flow of the trip. So I was there, I think the trip was like 10 days altogether, 10 or 11 days. You would usually spend about 2 days, I would say, in each location. So you would get there, get to your hotel, you know, put your stuff down, unpack, and then you would go. Usually there was like a tour or something. You already had a plan of something that you would be doing, or you just walk around the area. Something that I know people could be concerned about for this trip is that it is so scheduled that you wonder if you even have free time to go do stuff that you want to do, and you definitely do. There was not a time where I was like, wow, there's no free time, or like, wow, I wish I was doing something else relaxing and I don't have a chance to relax. You definitely have time for free time. You definitely have free time and you're able to do whatever you want. I would just, you know, stay with a buddy because you don't know what's going on there. You don't know, you're not from there. So just to be safe, stay with someone who's on the trip. And usually if you guys were out doing something, I know one night we ate dinner in Santorini and we all just kind of wanted to like go out, have our fun, explore the town. And that's totally fine, you know? Everyone is able to do what they want to do. Our tour guide told us that, you know, there's a bus taking us back to the hotel at a certain time. If you want to get on that bus, then Gucci. But if not, then we would have to find our own transportation. So that's kind of how it worked. So you definitely have a lot of time to do whatever you want to do on this trip. Athens was the first stop on our trip. So once everyone got there, we had a welcome mixer, and that was really nice because you got to meet the people who were going to be on your trip. You got to eat food, and it was local food. It was really good. Mediterranean food is bomb, and I will say I never really ate feta cheese before, but the feta cheese in Greece is just amazing. It's just amazing. So if you're going on this trip, I really recommend you try that out. Also, the Greek yogurt is very different there. It's very different. But if you put honey on it, it's delicious. I mean, that's how I liked it. That's how a lot of people liked it on the trip. We all noticed that the Greek yogurt was a little different, but it's the OG yogurt, so what can you say? And then finally, at the end of the trip, there's a farewell dinner. And you're usually sad because you met all these cool people, you had a lot of cool experiences, and now you have to say goodbye. Now you have to go back home. For me, I went back home to Chicago, which was still hot, you know, but it wasn't Greece. But yeah, the farewell dinner is it just makes you reflect and appreciate the amazing trip you just took. I would say the main highlights of the trip, or the main things that we did, were walk around the cities, shopping, if you're into shopping, getting souvenirs. We spent a lot of days on boats, which was awesome because I actually wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting to spend so much time on boats, but let me tell you, you spend a good amount of time on boats. So, I mean, whether it's a ferry or just a boat to chill out and just like jump in the water and all of that. So if you do get boat sick or seasick, one of my friends on the trip had these bands that she used. You can get them on Amazon. They kind of help with seasickness. So I would recommend that. But yeah, it was just awesome. We went wine tasting, and that was really cool, really beautiful. watch the sunsets. What else did we do? I don't know. You just really explore on this trip. So yeah, you'll have an amazing time. So next I'm going to be talking about some tips if you're going to be taking one of these trips that I think you should know. So here we go. Tip 1, be open to meeting new people. Your group is going to consist of, I think, max about 40 people. Some people know each other, some don't. And this is just a great opportunity for you to go and meet people and get out of your comfort zone. It's truly such a unique experience, and I would hate for someone to go on this trip and just be so like nervous about not knowing people or not opening up and trying to get to know people. You know, it's just such a great opportunity to meet some cool people. And it was really cool too because some of the girls on our trip had been on a previous trip together. So they met on that trip before, and then they were like, oh, let's go to Greece. So then they went on this trip to Greece. And it's just cool how you form new friendships that you never even expected to have. The next tip I would have is to pack light. I cannot even say this enough. There was one girl on our trip that said she like basically had to carry on. And I was like, how do you have a carry-on for a trip to Greece that's like 10 days? Like how do you do that? But let me tell you, that's the kind of packing you need to do, because you don't want to be carrying multiple suitcases from the airport to the coach bus, from the coach bus to the hotel, from the hotel to the ferry, from the ferry back to the bus, back to the hotel. I'm telling you, you will be dragging a suitcase everywhere with you. You don't want to be dragging multiple bags. You just want to keep it real simple, okay? Just real simple. Because most of the time, especially if you're going somewhere hot like Greece, you don't need all that. You just need bathing suits, cover-ups, your flip-flops, shorts, just basic stuff. Long story short, don't pack too much. Pack light. Tip 3 is to wear comfortable shoes, because you're going to be walking like crazy. You want to be comfortable. You don't want your feet hurting to ruin your experience. So I would get some comfortable shoes, honestly. Tip 4, and something that is near and dear to my heart, is if you are someone who really wants to take a trip, really wants to take one of these trips, and you don't have anyone to go with you, just go alone. Be a solo traveler. I was a solo traveler. It was my first experience being a solo traveler, and I highly recommend it to anyone who wants to solo travel. I know I've said I highly recommend so many times in this video, but it's because I genuinely do. I do. And I wasn't too nervous solo traveling, but once I actually landed in Athens at the airport, I was like, shoot, you are here alone. You don't know anybody, you don't know anything. So that's when I got a little nervous, but honestly, there's so many other people who are solo traveling, and there's just other people on the trip who are just there with their friends and just welcoming people. And people going on this trip, they're not going to be really standoffish. You know, there might be some people who are a little standoffish, and that's fine, but my thinking is that if you're going on a trip like this, it's because you kind of are a people person, or you want to be a people person, and you want these experiences of meeting people. So people are going to be open and willing and wanting to talk to you and get to know you. And you will definitely come out forming friendships. I'm telling you, you will. It's inevitable. You will. So definitely don't not consider this if you are a solo traveler, because I had a great time and I was a solo traveler. I'm just saying, this whole video is me saying, go on this trip, or just a trip with EF College Breaks. I know there are other companies very similar, but this is just my experience with EF College Breaks. Everything just worked out seamlessly, and I had an amazing time. So if you are interested, go on this trip. I will link the website down below in the description box. I hope you have an amazing time. I hope this video helped. If you were considering going on this trip or a trip with EF Breaks, I hope it's inspired you to just go do your thing, go travel the world, and yeah. So if you like this video, please hit the like button, please subscribe, and thank you for watching. I'll talk to you later. Bye.